Asta has just unlocked the ability he needed to become the ultimate Wizard King.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Yes, a new key power has been unlocked that counters his only weakness.
Yo, didn't this guy just unlock a new power only 3 chapters ago? Like, it happens every other week.
Sid, shut up!
Technically correct.
Not only has Black Clover Chapter 339 revealed Asta's new anti-magic key, but also another possible clue regarding his father?
Oh my god!
Later on, I have something really cool to share with you guys. Chapter 339 begins with Asta being scolded by Yami's little sister Ichika, whilst the public watches on. Secretly, they're talking shit about Asta's trim and his devil arm. This causes Ryu to panic and quickly run off with Asta to save him from being involved in any conflict. This means that people from foreign lands, such as the Clover Kingdom, have visited the Hino country before in the past. We also know that potatoes grow naturally here, something which only grows in Hodge village back home for Asta, as he highlighted the same speciality of potatoes in both lands. Remember, we talked about this in our last video? Hodge village having the same cuisine and type of potatoes is seriously questionable, where even Asta put that thought in the reader's mind. These two continents don't have the same culture, magic system or ideas, so this means someone from the Hino country must have made it a thing in the Hodge village. Therefore, we were correct. In the past, somebody has taken the potatoes from the Hino country and produced them for the Clover Kingdom, which would make them a speciality in that area, explaining why Asta knows about them already and loves them. As of chapter 331, Asta's story arc with his mother has ended. Him and Liber have already bonded over Lucita's passing and used that to power up to defeat Lucifero. They thanked each other on top of the clock tower, acknowledging their love, and it was time for Liber to make Asta's dream come true this time round by becoming Wizard King. Now that we are heading into Black Clover's final arc, it has to be now or never when it comes to learning the true identity of Asta's father. By putting 2 and 2 together, it becomes highly likely that Asta's father was the one the locals refer to as foreigners causing trouble. He would have been able to fall in love with Lucita and, you know.
Oh my god, stop bro, I'm stuck. Can you help me?
And since chapter 339 explains to us that ki is a flow of vitality and energy, everyone subconsciously uses it, Asta's father could have survived Lucita's special condition, as the people in the Hino country know the methods of training and are able to control their ki and life force that humans in the Clover Kingdom could not. Asta will be the bridge between the Hino country and the Clover Kingdom, eliminating the xenophobic mindset the locals have, just like how he has nearly eliminated the classism present back home in the Clover Kingdom. This also matches Ryu's inspiration of Data Masamune, being the first shogun that accepted foreigners and created the first voyage to different continents that the people of Japan opposed, as we see in this chapter. Tabata is leaving us a huge clue, everyone, but give me your predictions in the comments by sharing your mana. Those of you that end up correct, I promise to give you a shout out, so don't miss out and hit the notification bell. Join our community by becoming a Chad. But wait, what's this? You can now drip out your Xbox and PlayStations with these insane skins? Do you like Naruto? Just been to see the new Dragon Ball Super film in the cinema and you want to make your console go Super Saiyan? If you're not a complete weeb but still want a game with style, then take a look at these Star Wars ones.
But wait, there's more!
I've got a $20 discount of selected skins only for you guys in the description and pinned comment. So you can order yours right away because these make your consoles absolutely fire! And I think you're gonna really love them. Moving back to chapter 339, Asta is introduced to the recovery master, Fumito, who who surprisingly resembles Tabata himself, I must say. He mentions how he has never given treatment to such a creature before. Therefore, the fact that the locals are confused by Asta's arm proves that devils are not a commonplace here, despite Ryu knowing of their existence, highlighting his special eye that gives him knowledge others don't possess, and a plot twist that will occur in the future. Asta then learns of something brand new that is detrimental to the future of his existence: a new way to cook potatoes.
मजा आया।
Whilst they chow down on some grub, Asta suddenly freezes again due to PTSD, as he remembers the image in his mind of Sister Lily getting taken away from him by Lucius, feeling guilty that he is enjoying potatoes whilst everyone else is in danger. He feels weak, which is why he declares that he must go back and save her. When Ryu tells him that there's still time, Asta snaps, asking how the hell he can possibly know, and that he has been training all his life every single day, yet he can't ever be strong enough, beautifully capturing his inner insecurities that any of us would feel at this point of time. But Ichiko bitch slaps him, telling Asta shut the f up. This reminded me of those Indian dramas that I used to watch when I was a kid. Like, it was that dramatic.
How can you slap?
This bitch don't play! Ichika scolds Asta, saying how she doesn't care if he dies, but the fact he is alive is thanks to Ryu and Fumito, so he should be grateful. Girl! We know you lying, girl! She really cares, let's be honest. Remember, Asta's collecting waifus for his harem like the Pokemon.
Yeah, that's pretty true. That's true, and yeah, that's true.
Ichigo tells Asta that to him, Ryu may just be a random foreigner, but to them, Ryu is the shogun of this land. Thus, she will not hesitate to cut Asta down on the spot for disregarding his kindness. Asta proceeds to bow and apologizes for his rudeness, to which Ryu simply laughs it off. This is where Asta's Japanese training arc begins. Cue the music, please. Ryu states if Lucius has his way, then even the Hino country will be in trouble. This links back to what we mentioned about Asta eventually being the bridge between the two continents, because they will view him as the cause of Lucius's trouble. But our boy will eventually prove them wrong and be the savior. Thus paralleling what happened in the Clover Kingdom, where Asta's devil power was seen as the cause of all the trouble from the elf invasion, but was later proven to be the savior against Lucifero. Because of the fact Lucius overpowers Asta in physical combat, they teach him how to use Heavenly Severance. Ryu explains that ki is the flow of vitality and energy, and that everyone uses it to output their magic. Thus, by concentrating it deliberately and precisely, the speed and combination of ki and magic creates an explosive outburst of force that Ichika uses to cut down bamboo. They then ask Asta to try it, but as Fumito states, this is a high rank attack and it takes years and years to learn, and the only reason Ichika is so talented with it is because she's part of the 7 Ryuzen. Asta doesn't care though. He knows he's a shonen protagonist, right? He's in his element, muttering to himself about how he never thought of using ki in that way before, and that it's like an omission of what everyone else was doing with the ki for Mana Skin. Since Asta and Liber have an equal contract, they can deliberately concentrate their ki and anti-magic together to create a whole new power, thus resulting in a combination of the two that has an output that whittles away the bamboo, despite not usually being able to wither due to it living off Yojutsu. This is not the first time, ladies and gentlemen, that Asta's anti-magic has killed the plants and life force around him. The Witch Queen fiddled with his limits on his anti-magic, increasing its flow, and he became Black Asta for the first time in chapter 96. When this happened, we can see the anti-magic emitting from his body, causing the nearby vegetation to die, similar to how Asta killed the bamboo in this chapter. Everything is interconnected. If you're probably wondering, ABD, this looks like an arse pill, it's not looking like it's making little, but it's not making sense. Well, I'm gonna prove that wrong and that Tabata is goated and has interconnected all the chapters. The only difference this time is that Asta has concentrated the output of his power. This is huge for the future of the series, as this allows Asta to fight with a brand new fighting style, giving him the upper hand against Lucius Socrates. Let's be honest, Asta is a quick learner. He knows his only weakness would be physical attacks, as Lucius stated it was. This means that by concentrating both the anti-magic and ki into his fists, he will be able to fight using the many martial arts the 7 Ryuzen are planning to train him on. After all, this is nothing new to him, as we learned in chapter 334, he had been training to concentrate Devil Union into just one singular part of his body to elongate its time limit and increase its effect. For the first time ever in Asta's life, he's treated as a genius. And to be frank, he truly is when it comes to learning new techniques and harnessing anti-magic, way beyond the capacity of other knights who struggle with their own downfalls. Looking back holistically, Asta didn't get recognition for being a strong genius until he defeated Lucifero, but the signs were already set in place from the very beginning that he was built different. I can give major examples of Asta surpassing all the other magic knights despite their grievance of not wanting to admit it due to their classism and terrible culture. Even going back as far as chapter 4, the story had made it very obvious that Asta is an extremely adaptive and talented person when it came to battle. He had to train his brain to process things in a different way due to being magicless, working way harder than others on doing the simplest of tasks. When Magna throws the fireball at him, Asta says he's dead, as his brain instinctively knew he could not engage that attack. So he adapts by using his overly trained muscles and reflexes to counter. This is what benefited him in learning ki from Yami very quickly, as not everyone can master this ability. However, Asta, in the midst of a battle where he was being overwhelmed and was about to die again, adapted to focus on Yami's instructions to unlock the power to sense the basics of ki, laying down the solid foundation Ryu mentioned in chapter 339. Later on, this exact instinctive nature of never giving up on his body and dream is displayed against all the magic knights, where Sisgolion wanted to train the newbies to test their skills. They had to hike up a volcanic mountain and learn mana skin that Asta mentioned in this chapter. Everyone had every advantage over him. Sisgolion tells Asta it's impossible for someone with no magic power to climb the summit. She thinks all his previous feats were luck, but Asta proves her wrong. But it wasn't only her, he proves all of them wrong. His battle instincts give him the answer to adapt his anti-magic. Although, his brain almost exploded, he thinks back to chapter 4, the dungeon, and all the other events where he was about to die but got stronger. Using everything he learnt so far, he uses ki and his anti-magic to help him, which directly relates back to the events of chapter 339, as he processes the exact training methods that Ryu and Ichika are trying to teach him. In chapter 110, Asta senses the ki inside his own body and circulates anti-magic around him as a whole, which unlocks his form to fly across, beating all the other magic knights and catch up to Hino. So if you were probably wondering that Asta's learning this so fast and it's an ass pull, it really isn't. He was already learning how to master ki from the moment he unlocked the power. He needed better teachers to tell him the methods of applying it better. The story has always been foreshadowing his mastery of ki as the most important aspect of his life where he's needed it most, such as using ki to understand his brother Liber to forge an equal contract and understand his emotions in chapter 269. This is why mastering ki is the secret to achieving Asta's dream of Wizard King. For example, his brother, who was from another race that suffered from hatred, anger, and sadness, expected a negative response just like the other humans treated him. But Asta accepted those feelings and said he would fix them for him, and he does in chapter 331. By mastering ki, Asta will be able to do this with the magic knights and people that he will be governing over as their Wizard King leader, which directly links back to Asta's philosophy that parallels Julius Novachrono. They both want to create a world of peace, equality, and thriving magic knights that support each other rather than tear one another down. Black Clover's final battle is a clash of ideals in terms of what is right and a wrong pathway to creating peace and a healthy society by using the title of Wizard King. With Ki being mastered with anti-magic, Asta instead of Lucius will be the one that saves everyone from oppression, understanding them best by knowing the difference, fulfilling not only his dream but Lucius's counterpart Julius, as he was striving for this outcome his entire life. The reason we know that this technique is the key to victory comes from its name, Heavenly Severance. Lucius is a being who acts like a false prophet and uses his magic to enact his will upon others. Asta will use this new powers to sever the bond between his loved ones like Sister Lily and Julius from this heavenly power, because Ki is linked directly to the spiritual energy of someone. Because of this, Asta believes that he can in fact still grow stronger thanks to his new friends helping him overcome the mental trauma he has sustained recently. Also, don't forget to get $20 off skins using my special link in the description. Or watch this video on your screen right now to understand Deku's final quirk in My Hero Academia.